Hi, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Hi, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to Mangomint's Feature Spotlight series. Super excited to have you join. Hope you are all having a great day so far. Well, welcome. In case we haven't met before, my name is Abby and I am your host for today's Feature Spotlight webinar. Today, we're going to focus on payroll reporting in Mangomint. So I'm going to show you how you can make payroll reporting really easy and generate payroll reports in just a few seconds, all without leaving your Mangomint account. Something I also want to point out here is that our payroll reporting is available for everybody at no extra charge. So even if you're not using our payroll processing add-on, the payroll reporting is still available to you. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. I'm going to start sharing my screen and then let me know if you have any questions at all. If you do have any questions, just drop those in the chat. I'll try to answer a question or two live if we have time. And then any questions that we don't get to, we'll definitely make sure we follow up with you one-on-one after the webinar as well. So let's go ahead, and I am now going to pull up my screen and we will go from there. Okay, perfect. I am sharing my screen. Of course, let me know if anybody cannot see that. So I have pulled up the Seven Lakes Salon and Spa. This is a demo account I like to use. You can see that right now we're looking at the calendar screen. We do have a few different appointments going on right now. But first, I want to just show you how easy it is to generate a payroll report in Mangomint. So whenever you want to generate a payroll report, you're going to head over to the payroll screen. So let's go ahead and head over there right now. So I'm going to go up here and just click on more, and then we're going to click on payroll. Okay, perfect. So now we're here on the payroll screen. And again, just want to point out again that this screen is going to be available to all Mangomint customers. So even if you're not signed up for payroll processing, you'll still be able to access this payroll screen. So something else to point out as well before we get started here is that in today's webinar, we're going to walk through an account that is not already currently using Mangomint's payroll processing, just so you can get an idea of what the payroll reporting will look like if you're somebody who's not yet using our payroll processing. But of course, if you are already using our payroll processing, the screen will look very similar. It'll just have a few differences. So just keep that in mind. And of course, we have a lot of other webinars available if you are using payroll processing and want to get a feel for how that looks, or if you're interested in potentially using it, you can check out those webinars to see payroll processing in action. Okay, so we're here on the payroll screen. When you're actually ready to generate a payroll report, first you're going to want to kind of decide what information you actually want to see. So if you look in here, you can see that this account does have multiple business locations. So we can actually choose which locations we want to generate a payroll report for. So I'm just going to go up here and you can see in the locations that we have the Market Street location, Waterfront, and Shoreline. I can run the payroll report for all of those different locations, but if I want, I can just deselect a couple of these if I only want to generate a payroll report for one of those locations, for example. So let me go ahead and click those. I'll enable those locations for now. Something else is that you'll also decide which staff members you want to be included in the payroll report. So I'm going to just click right here and you can see I have a lot of different staff members in this account. But if I only wanted to generate a payroll report, maybe just for Andre, Courtney, and Harriet Love, I could go ahead and only select them. So I only see payroll information about those workers. So it's really up to you to decide what staff members you want included in the report every time you run it. And then something else you'll want to decide before you actually generate the report is you want to decide what time period you want to use for the actual payroll report. And keep in mind that you can generate as many different payroll reports as you need to for different time periods. So this is unlimited. You can generate a report for today and then generate another report for yesterday and for this week and all of that. So there's no limit to that. So just generate the report for whatever different time periods you need. So now let's go ahead and I want to generate a payroll report. I'm going to generate one for all of our locations. I think I'm going to include all staff members in it. And then for the time period, let's look at the payroll reporting for this week. So I'm just going to go up here to time period and I'm going to update it to this week. And then once you have your location, staff, and the time period set up as you want to, you'll just click generate report. So I have now clicked generate report. As you can see, our payroll report has been generated instantly. And this is really nice because if we kind of start looking at this, and I know there's not a lot of, different numbers to look at, but I will help you kind of orient you to the different numbers that you're looking at. But something that's really nice about the payroll report is that all of the information that you need is on a single screen. And we've also been making some enhancements over the last few months to make our payroll report easier than ever to navigate. So you'll see here, you'll see things like hours worked, hourly compensation, services, we have service sales, product sales, things like that, tips. All of that information is here for you. So now that we've generated that payroll report, again, we're looking at the time period of this week. So we're looking at July 28th through August 3rd. Now I actually want to walk through the payroll report together, and I'm going to explain a bit more about what you're seeing here on each different column that we have, because there is a lot of data to look at. So let me go through and kind of explain some of this. So of course, as you see, the payroll report is broken down into a few different columns. The first one that you see here is the hours. So this is just the number of hours that the staff member worked. So we're looking at Andre Butler. He has worked for 54 hours during this particular time period. Then we have blocked. So that's the number of hours that were blocked on the calendar. So it looks like Andre had 3 hours that were blocked. I did look at his schedule in the past few days, and it looks like he had a time block set up on Sunday for a three-hour time block. So that explains that. Then we move into the hourly comp. And so what you're seeing here in this column, this is showing the staff member's hourly compensation. It is excluding overtime calculations. Next, we have some services information. So in the services column, this is just going to show you the number of different services that the staff member completed in that time period. So we can see that Andre completed 4 services. We can see that Courtney Hall completed 5 different services in that time period. And then we have the service sales. So this is just the staff member's service sales totaled up. So you can see that. Then we do have a column for deductions. So this is showing you, in this case, it's 0 in for all of these different staff members. But what you're seeing here is that it would show deductions, meaning the pre-commission and post-commission deductions for the service members completed, or for the staff members completed services. Keep in mind, this does include service customizations as well. Then we'll move on to the service comp. So this column for service comp is just showing you the staff members' service compensation. And that does include service commission pay adjustments. So just a detail I wanted to throw out there as well. A couple more columns to go through, again, just to kind of orient you to what you're seeing here. So as we move into products, this products column is showing you the number of products that the staff member sold in that time period. So as you can see here, again, this is just using some, dummy data here. Obviously, your data is going to look a bit different. Everybody's data will look different depending on your business. But in this demo account, you can see that Andre Butler, he did sell 6 different products in that time period. We can also see the product sales. So this is the staff member's product sales total. And then we also have the product comp right here. So similar to that other column, the service comp, the product comp is going to show you the staff member's product compensation. Just a couple more columns to go through. We're almost through all of them. So the tips column, this is just the amount of tips that the staff member received during that time period. So pretty self-explanatory there. And then we have pay adjustments, and we're going to talk about pay adjustments a little bit more in just a couple minutes. But the pay adjustments this column is going to show you the amount of pay adjustment, bonus, and reimbursement pay adjustments. So those are all basically different types of pay adjustments. I'll go into more details about that, but that's going to show that information. So anything related to the pay adjustments that were made to the staff members' compensation during that time period. And then lastly, we have the total column. Again, pretty self-explanatory here, but this is just showing you the staff members' total compensation for that time period. So for the period of July 28th through August 3rd, we can see this totaled out for these 5 different staff members that we have here at the 7 Lakes Salon and Spa. And something else that I really love about this payroll report is that you can really easily expand or collapse the details for each day as needed. So right now we're looking at this report. You can see that all of these different rows here with the different staff members, these are all kind of collapsed right now. So I love this view because this is a really nice kind of higher level, almost like a bird's eye view of your payroll reporting for that particular time period. But if you want to, if I click on Andre, this is really nice because I can actually expand the information and see more details about each day. So now I can actually see a breakdown of the day details. And this is, again, broken down into every single day in that time period that we're looking at right here, July 28th through August 3rd. And then if I click again, I can actually open this, kind of expand this report even further. And so now I can actually drill down and see even more specific details about every single day. So if I look at July 28th, for example, I can go there, see information broken out there in terms of the hours worked, the blocked hours like we were talking about. Andre did have that time block set up on July 28th on that Sunday, and see more details there. And then you could also add a pay adjustment there. We'll go over that in a moment. But this is really cool because you can go through and you can actually click into every single day. And again, I love this because you're doing this all from the same screen. So you can kind of collapse and expand as needed, and you don't need to move screens. You're doing it all in this one payroll screen. So it's super easy. So then if you look at July 29th, for example, we can see something else that is really nice about this report is that you can see all of the different sales as well. So you can see, information about the client, the type of sale that it was. You can see the name of the service, or you can also see the name of the different products as well. So that's super helpful to see all of that. Any price changes, deductions, all of that, and the commission on those too. And this is actually really nice because if you'll notice, all of these different sale numbers, they're actually linked. So when you click this link, that is going to take you directly to that sale in Mangomint. So just another kind of thing that we've added to make this more intuitive for you and kind of reduce the amount of clicks. So if you want to go to that sale, you can just click there and you're taken instantly to it. So that's just a little bit of additional information about how you can kind of look at this report, expand and collapse the rows to see the information, at the level of detail that you want to. So now I want to talk about a couple other tips and tricks for you when you're using the payroll report. So something else that we touched on a little bit is the pay adjustments. So we made it super easy to add pay adjustments if you need to. And again, you can add the pay adjustments as you can see here. We'll go to that in a second, but you can add these directly in the same screen. So I really like pay adjustments. A lot of people find them useful because you can easily and quickly adjust a staff member's total compensation without having to update any specific sales. So that's really nice. That's going to save you time. Some common use cases for pay adjustments. I think this is really perfect for something like you want to give a one-time bonus to a staff member, or maybe there's other types of other situations where you need to make a pay adjustment. So the pay adjustments are going to let you do that on the fly really easily. So just an example, let's say, for example, we're looking at Andre here. Let's say that Andre, stayed late to help a VIP client and you want to give him a one-time bonus. The pay adjustment will make it super easy to do that. So let's go ahead and add a pay adjustment now. So we can there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can actually, if you want to, let me just collapse that for a second. But if you want, you could click here on the pay adjustments, and then you can add a pay adjustment that way. The date here is currently August 3rd, and you can update that if you want to. But something else you can do, if you don't want to start there, you can actually let's say, for example, you were looking at this payroll report and you have the day details kind of expanded out like this, you can actually go and add a pay adjustment. So let's say, for example, I want to add a pay adjustment for Monday, July 29th. I can just go ahead and click here where it says pay adjustments. And then now I can add a pay adjustment. So it's adding it to July 29th. I'll go ahead and, as you recall before, I talked about how there's different types of pay adjustments. One of the types is actually called pay adjustment if it doesn't fall into these other types for the pay adjustment, but you've got things like bonus, service commission, product commission, tips, and reimbursement. So let's say, for example, I just want to do a bonus, as we were talking about, Andre stayed late to help a VIP client. So I've added that to the type. It's going to be bonus, and then we'll just add the amount. So I'll do $100, and then I can just do a description as well. So I'll do something really simple, helping VIP client, just something to kind of jog your memory about what that pay adjustment was for. And then I'll go ahead and click add. And now you can see that we have added the $100 pay adjustment right here. So it's showing in this row in the pay adjustment column for July 29th in that row there. And then of course, if we went up here and I go ahead and collapse Andre's information again, we can see that that $100 total still shows in the pay adjustments. And then if I go back here, let me open that up again. Let's say now that I want to go to and add another pay adjustment for July 30th, for example, I can go here and just add another pay adjustment. So let me do that. So I'll click that. Let's just do another bonus, for example. And then I can do, let's say we'll do $50, and then we'll do just a quick description right here, add that. So we've added a $50 pay adjustment for a bonus for Andre. And again, you can see that populate there. And then if I go back up here, I collapse that information. You can see now the pay adjustments column has been totaled up. So we see the total amount of all the pay adjustments, which is $150. So really love that. I think it's super easy to go in and add those whenever you need to. So something else that I really like about the payroll report is that it's also really customizable in terms of what information you're seeing. So we actually have some different report settings that you can use to kind of visualize the data in the way that works best for you. So in order to access those report settings, in the payroll screen, you'll just go over to options. So let's click on options. And then as you can see here, we have a few different options here. Something to keep in mind as well is that, if right now we are looking at an account that is not currently using payroll processing, if you were using payroll processing, then your options here will look slightly different than this. So just something to keep in mind. So this is really great because in these report settings, you can decide a few different things. So you can decide whether you want to include all staff members, for example. So if you enable this, then it means it's going to show all staff members for the selected time period, regardless of whether they have any compensation data or not. I'm going to go ahead and just deselect that for now. You can also decide if you want to include days that had no compensation. So you can show all days for the selected time period, regardless of whether there's any compensation for that particular day or not. So some people like to have that included in the report. Other people decide to turn that off because they don't want to clutter up the report with that information. So for now, I'm just going to disable that one. And then the last option here is that you can also expand all sections. So if you enable this, you can decide to always show the expanded view of the report, including all the staff and day details. So I can go ahead and just enable that. I'll close that. Now you can see everything is expanded, but I can also just deselect that. And then now it will not automatically be expanded. So now we're kind of back to looking at that bird's eye view that I was talking about before. Okay, something else about that I love about the payroll report is that you can also download the payroll report if you need to. So after you've generated your payroll report, all you need to do is you'll select download report. So let me go ahead and generate that report again. Actually, let me go. I'm going to generate, let's just generate it for today, for example, so we can see some different information. So after you generate that report, you're just going to select this download report button right here. So I'm going to select that now. And then you're going to be given the choice to download the report either as a PDF, or you can also download an Excel file if you want to look at it that way. So I'll just download the PDF for now. And then you have a couple other choices here. So if you want, you can include the sales totals. If you enable this toggle, that means that it's going to include the service sales and product sales columns in there. And then you can also decide if you want to enable this toggle to include a detailed view. If you enable that, it's going to include the details for each day. So things like client services, products, and price changes that are made during the checkout. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave those both enabled, and then I'll just go ahead and click download. Okay, perfect. So I just saw the download. The downloaded report came into my downloads folder. So that was super easy. It took just a few seconds for that. So definitely take advantage of that if you ever need to download the report as a PDF or as an Excel file. Okay, so that is kind of an overview of our payroll reporting, and we've walked through the payroll report. If you are watching this and you're interested not only in generating your payroll reports, but also processing your payroll all in one place, you can do that with Mangomint. So just a couple reasons you might want to consider switching to our payroll processing. When you switch to our payroll processing, it's going to let you get rid of outdated third-party payroll systems, and you're going to be able to bring your entire payroll process inside of Mangomint. So it's really going to help you streamline everything, because not only will you be generating the payroll reports in Mangomint like we talked about today, but you'll also be able to process your payroll directly in Mangomint too. So it's going to make it super easy to pay your workers on time. And again, that does include your employees as well as your contractors. And your workers can actually sign up for direct deposit, which is so convenient. You know, so many of our customers have talked to us and have told us how much their workers are really loving the direct deposit. And we're also going to handle all of your tax payments and filings for your local, your state, your federal taxes, and just really help you ensure that you're staying compliant with laws and regulations. Of course, we're also going to make it easy to manage things like benefits and time off and more, and do all of that inside of Mangomint. So if you're ready to sign up for our integrated payroll processing, go ahead, and I recommend that you schedule a quick payroll call with our support team. We're going to be able to work with you to ensure that our payroll processing is going to work well for your needs. And after you have a call with our team, then you'll complete your employer enrollment. And we have a ton of additional information about that in our other payroll processing webinars that we have, as well as our Learning Center. So definitely check that out if you're watching this and you're interested in payroll processing. All right, I do see we have a question that came in back to our payroll report. So let me go through that now. So somebody has asked, when you're looking at the report, how is the hourly compensation calculated in terms of how many hours were worked? So that's a really great question. So the hourly compensation is pulled from the scheduled hours of the staff member, unless the time clock feature is enabled. So if the time clock feature is enabled, then that hourly compensation is going to be pulled from the hours that the staff member clocked in and clocked out. So just something to keep in mind there as well. Okay, and it looks like we do have one more question that came in. So somebody has asked about pay adjustments. So can you add a negative pay adjustment? So yes, that's actually a really good question. This comes up from time to time. So you can actually add a negative pay adjustment. We do see this happen sometimes. If you want to, use that to deduct a specific amount from a staff member's pay, you can definitely do that. So if I just go back here, let's go to Courtney Hall, for example. We can do a pay adjustment. Let's just call this a pay adjustment, and then we can actually do something like negative $50. Just something, then we add the description, and then I'll go ahead and click add. And so now you can see that negative pay adjustment that we've added. So that is possible. Let us know if you have more questions about that. So that's a great question too. All right. Well, I think we've gone through all of our questions that we received. I think we've given you a really nice overview of our payroll report and, kind of walked you through the basics of how to generate payroll reports in Mangomint. Again, definitely let us know if you have any questions either about payroll reporting or if you have questions about getting started with our payroll processing. So we'll be here, and definitely if you have any questions, just start a chat with us, and we have a ton of great resources on our Learning Center as well. All right, well, that's going to wrap up today's Feature Spotlight webinar. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and hope to see you next time. All right, bye.